Welcome to Spider-Verse Minute, the tri-weekly podcast where we watch Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse 1 minute at a time. I'm Caroline Slater.
And I'm her brother Sean.
And today we are discussing Minute 96. It begins with Peter and Miles' spider senses going off, and then ends a minute later with Peter falling into the portal.
What did you title this minute?
Spider-Man Stare Down.
Yeah, we get a couple deep longing stares happening in this minute. Just, you know, the first longing stare, the sad one, that starts with them starting to say goodbye to each other.
Mm-hmm.
And just like I really like the growth that this Peter has had, going from not wanting anything to do with Miles to not wanting to leave Miles at all,
to never wanting to leave Miles. Yeah, it's his arc, aside from Miles, has definitely been one of the biggest.
The movie focused on them, so obviously they're going to have the biggest arc, but
yeah,
I think they also like earned both their arcs in the movie.
Oh, definitely. They get interrupted when Kingpin shows up, and I love this detail they do where the portal collider turns green.
Yeah.
With the reveal of Kingpin, and I'm like, oh.
And it gets like dark around where he is. Like he's never really in the light.
Yeah, and I was like,
nice symbolism, guys.
Death approaches.
Yeah.
And I love how Peter just goes right into action for that. He's like, I'll stop, you shut off the collider, I'll take care of it.
Yeah, and Miles's like jump to stop him too is so quick.
Yeah.
Where he's like, no, that wasn't the deal.
Mm-hmm.
Like you're going back and I'm gonna stop this.
Mm-hmm. And then we have another moment of like seal of approval in a way, where Peter is like, you can't take him, like, it's like, I can't let Spider-Man die. It's like, we call him Spider-Man.
Yep. And Miles is neither can I. Like he feels like he already let it happen once.
Yeah.
And so he can't let it happen again.
Yeah, it's like, this is brought up a few times after he sees Spider-Man actually die. And then we actually see him again bring it up when they're at Alchemax.
Yeah.
And he's like, I can't just sit back and let Spider-Man die. I'm not doing that again. And then it's brought up again here. And I like how they keep that through line.
Yeah, like Miles still feels guilty. Even though he, like, logically he knows there wasn't anything he could have done at that time. But he still feels guilty about it.
Yeah, and I think what I like about it most, too, is that it's a very realistic portrayal of it. It's like, you don't just get over something like that.
Yeah.
Like, that takes time to get through. Like, that, especially that survivor's guilt. Like, someone just does not get over that one day. Like, you work through that. So the fact he's still like, I can't let it happen again. It's like, it's very realistic. To me, it is.
Yeah, and it's also like their conversation here about like Miles telling Peter to go home. I also like how quickly they resolve it.
Oh yeah.
Like it's not a big fight between the two of them.
Mm-mm.
It's just a quick, like, once Peter tells him to go home, and like once he looks at Miles, once Peter looks at Miles, he's just like, yeah, you're right, I do have to go do this.
I almost feel like once he saw that Miles is going to be okay on his own, he's like, you know what, if Miles can get through this, I can go take care of this myself.
Yeah, it's better for me to go home. Miles has grown enough to be able to take care of himself that it's okay for me to go home.
Yeah.
And I love when Peter asks, like, how do I know I'm not going to mess it up? I love Miles's like double meaning when he says you won't, in that he won't know, like he won't know that he's not going to mess it up, but also like it's just you won't mess it up. Like Miles has faith in Peter.
Yeah.
And then Peter's just like, oh yeah, right. The thing I told you before of the leap of faith. And I would have just loved Miles to be like, no, I know you won't mess it up. It's like, no. But yeah, there, his, just the emotion that Peters puts into it, where like he shows that he's scared to go back because
Yeah.
of like his newfound lease on life of just, hey, I want to go back. I want to try to patch things up and stop wallowing in self-pity.
Yeah. Yeah, and I love how they build up this moment too. So like they have the I can't let Spider-Man die, neither can I. Then there's like a good moment of just like them staring intensely at each other in
Yeah.
a very challenging way, and you almost think they're gonna go into that fighting route, and they don't. Like Peter goes, "It's gonna be okay." Miles is like, "Yeah," and then does what Peter did to Miles in the dorm room. Like it was a really cool reverse, and it's almost showing like, okay, he can take care of himself, but like, and then you can almost see like his borders going down. Like, what if I mess it up?
And like Peter's it's okay, like when he's telling Miles it's okay, it's the like, it's okay if I'm here, like,
Mm-hmm.
it is what it is. And
Yeah.
then it's that really that when Miles shows him that he can do this stuff on command, even though he really just, knocks Peter over and grabs him, but in the same fashion that Peter had done to Miles,
Yeah.
that's when he realized like, oh yes, it is okay for me to go home.
Yeah. It's just this is another very like kind of bittersweet moment because like I'm sad to see them part because they've been together the longest, so we got to know their relationship the best.
Yeah.
But I'm also like this is a very awesome supporting of each other type of moment as well.
Yep.
And I just love the peaceful falling that Peter has when he leaves and just the
Yeah.
very quiet, not bad, kid.
Yes, that is like it's a nice send off that Peter has to Miles.
And he has this little like smile of like, I'm proud of you, and I love it.
Yeah. He's got his proud dad.
He's a proud dad.
Yeah.
He's a proud dad of his adoptive spider kid.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't really have much else for this scene. Like it's just
The last thing I had was just a neat little background thing is when they first start to dash away, when Peter dives through the truck that we see. It's a USSP Express truck instead of USPS or UPS or something.
Yeah.
I don't really know, like United States Service of the Postal. Like I don't know.
It's like I don't. What does?
Yeah.
Huh?
Usually, like with the fake ones, we're able to figure things out, but I couldn't figure it out with USSP.
Whose university do you think it's from?
I think this is I was gonna say Miles one. Maybe it's Peter's. I don't know. But I loved their slogan, which was "Get it there, maybe." Or I guess maybe it was more definitive because it was just "Get it there, maybe," which is just a great slogan. I
Either
feel
way,
like
both slogans are fantastic.
whichever artist came up with that slogan obviously had a couple packages go missing recently.
Had to vent out a little bit in the art there, and that's okay.
Yeah. That was the last thing I had.
Yeah, I don't have anything else to add. Just this is just a great minute. It's a great moment of emotion, and just like I think it's a perfect send off for Peter and Miles.
Yeah, I also like it. The minute ends at a nice moment. Like sometimes you get the minutes where they're like halfway through a scene, and this one's at a good stopping off point. Like if it was 10-15 seconds later, I think it would have been perfect. Once Peter had actually gone through the portal right before. But can't complain too much.
No.
So thank you for joining us this week. Join us next week to find out how Miles and Kingpin face off against each other. If you want to reach out to us, you can find us on Twitter at SpiderVerseMin, MIN. You can reach us on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube at SpiderVerseMinute. And if you want to send us an email, you can shoot one on over to podcast@spiderverseminute.com.
Thanks for listening.
Bye.